I'm honestly at that point where I can't hold this in anymore. No one is really giving Becky Lynch the flowers she deserves in 2025, and it's frustrating because this might be the absolute best run of her entire career. I don't say that lightly. Becky Lynch isn't just one of WWE's biggest female stars, she's one of the company's most valuable names, period. If you ask me, she's sitting on the Mount Rushmore of modern WWE right now, and it blows my mind that the wider conversation hasn't fully caught up yet. So in this breakdown, I'm going to go through why Becky's 2025 has been remarkable, why her storylines this year have been nothing short of compelling television, and why this might just be her defining year as the man. Let's start at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch made her return in the most Becky Lynch way possible, loud, controversial, and immediately in the center of the spotlight. After being off WWE TV, rumors swirled about her future. Was she going to Hollywood full-time? Was she planning to step away? Or was she waiting for the right time to strike? Well, WrestleMania answered all of that. Becky Lynch stormed back into the biggest stage of them all, and in shocking fashion, she replaced Bayley in a tag match to team up with Lyra Valkyria. Together, they dethroned Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to briefly capture the women's tag team titles. That alone was a headline. But here's where it gets wild. The very next night on Raw, WWE pulled the trigger and had Liv and Raquel win the titles right back, effectively making Becky and Lyra's reign just one day long. It almost felt like WWE wanted the moment more than the reign, but even in that short run, Becky's presence completely shifted the energy of the women's division. Fans were buzzing. Was this selfish booking to edge Bayley out? Or was Becky here to help Lyra become a bigger star? Either way, the debate meant one thing: Becky was already the center of attention again. From there, she didn't waste time. WWE pivoted quickly and had Becky turn heel, which set up her rivalry with Lyra Valkyria for the newly created Women's Intercontinental title. Now, this was storytelling done right. Becky went from being the over babyface at WrestleMania to being the arrogant, calculating heel just days later. Lyra was slotted as the fresh, up-and-coming underdog. Bayley returned as the pure babyface who the fans felt got robbed. And Becky was right in the middle as the veteran manipulator. The chemistry worked on every level, and week after week, their segments felt must-see. This feud elevated everyone involved. Lyra Valkyria, in particular, came out of it looking like a bigger deal than ever before. By feuding with Becky Lynch, she didn't just get screen time, she got legitimacy. And that's what Becky brings to the table. She knows how to make her opponents look credible without sacrificing her own aura. It's the same thing she did years ago with Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, and even Asuka. Becky Lynch is at her best when she's in the ring with someone who's trying to prove themselves, because she pushes them to a higher level. Now fast forward, that program wrapped up, and Becky moved on to something that initially had fans skeptical: a feud with WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. At first glance, people thought, really? Nikki Bella? In 2025? For a championship? But when you break it down, it's actually a brilliant piece of booking. Nikki Bella represents the Divas era, an era that Becky openly despises as part of her character. Becky's entire brand has been about being the man, being real, being about the fight, not the glam, not the gloss. Nikki, on the other hand, has always been vocal about wanting women's wrestling to be taken seriously. She pushed for change, she helped bring in new fans through Total Divas and Total Bellas, and she stood up as one of the loudest voices for progress. So to pair Becky against Nikki creates this fascinating clash of eras, philosophies, and fan bases. And Becky has taken that and run with it. On Raw, she cut one of the coldest promos of the year by taking a shot at Nikki Bella's past relationship with John Cena, saying, "You can't see him anymore." That's the kind of personal line that gets fans gasping. It's the kind of promo that makes you sit up and go, "Oh, this isn't just a match. This is personal." Nikki fired back, and suddenly this feud didn't feel like nostalgia, it felt like fire. If that wasn't enough, Becky stirred even more controversy in Birmingham when she referenced the late Ozzy Osbourne during a promo, saying, "The only good thing to come out of here died a month ago." The crowd audibly reacted, social media lit up, and Kelly Osbourne herself blasted Becky as a disrespectful dirtbag. WWE might have to issue a statement, but here's the point: Becky is generating real buzz. She's not just having matches, she's making people talk. That's rare in wrestling today, where so much of the product can feel overproduced and sanitized. Becky is breaking through the noise with lines that create genuine heat. And let's not forget, Becky is currently holding the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This is a brand new belt, one that could have easily been an afterthought, but Becky has made it matter. She's infused it with meaning by treating it like a prize worth fighting for, by tying it to storylines that feel personal, and by carrying herself as if holding that belt elevates her legacy rather than diminishes it. When Becky Lynch holds gold, it always feels important. Now I want to zoom out for a second and compare this to Becky's past runs. In late 2018, she exploded as the man, largely because the fans forced WWE's hand. They couldn't deny her anymore after she got over organically. In 2019, she was on top of the world, main eventing WrestleMania, But the truth is, her opponents weren't always at her level. Ronda Rousey left, Lacey Evans was unproven, and the division wasn't stacked the way it is now. In 2020, she had momentum, but then the pandemic hit, and shortly after she stepped away to start her family. When she came back as big-time Bex in 2021, the gimmick didn't click the way WWE hoped. She had moments, but consistency was missing. But now she's firing on all cylinders. Becky's back full-time. She's motivated. She's cutting promos that trend. She's elevating new stars like Lyra Valkyria. She's giving Nikki Bella a storyline worth investing in. And she's making a brand new championship feel like a big deal. That's the definition of a great run. And here's the kicker, Becky is doing this while still being unpredictable. You don't know what's coming next. One week she's tagging with someone, the next week she's stabbing them in the back. One night she's getting cheered out of the building, the next night she's getting booed for mocking a legend. That unpredictability is exactly what wrestling needs. Too often, storylines feel formulaic. Becky thrives in chaos. She thrives in making fans debate whether they should love her or hate her. That's when she's at her best. Let's not overlook the ripple effect either. Lyra Valkyria is now in a position to challenge for the women's world title down the line because Becky helped raise her stock. Nikki Bella's return feels meaningful instead of just nostalgic because Becky gave her a Real angle. The women's Intercontinental title is on fans' radar because Becky has worn it. That's three separate parts of WWE's women's division that are stronger right now because of Becky Lynch's 2025 run. And it's not just about titles or feuds. Becky Lynch has become the kind of performer where you can build shows around her. She draws attention, she sells tickets, she gets mainstream coverage, whether it's her taking shots at Nikki Bella, stirring backlash with an Ozzy Osbourne reference, or simply putting on another 5-star promo. Becky is creating conversation, and in wrestling, conversation equals relevance. So when people ask me why I think Becky Lynch is having the best run of her career right now, my answer is simple, because she's finally combining everything. She has the experience, the mic skills, the credibility, the fan connection, the mainstream attention, and the ability to elevate others all at once. In 2018, she had the connection but not the creative backing. In 2019, she had the spotlight but not the opponents. In 2021, she had the comeback but not the consistency. In 2025, she has it all. And let's be real here, Becky Lynch is one of the few stars who can transcend wrestling. She's done talk shows, she's written a memoir, she's been featured in Hollywood projects. She could easily cash out and chase Hollywood like The Rock or John Cena, but she chose to come back, full-time, and pour her energy into WWE. She didn't have to, she wanted to, and she's proving why she's indispensable to this company. Now we look ahead. Clash in Paris is around the corner, and Becky is set to defend her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Nikki Bella. This is the match that will test everything. Nikki has legacy, Becky has momentum, and the crowd is going to be split. Whether you cheer Nikki for being the OG fighter for women's wrestling or you cheer Becky for being the modern icon, this is a match that feels bigger than just a belt. It feels like a statement, and that's why Becky's run has been so damn good. It's about statements, not just wins and losses. So here's my bottom line, Becky Lynch is in the middle of the run of her career, and it deserves more recognition. She's unpredictable, she's controversial, she's elevating others, she's holding down a new title, and she's making the women's division feel as important as it's ever been. If you're not watching closely, you're missing greatness in real time. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Becky's 2025 is the best run of her career? Are you riding with her as the top heel? Or are you backing Nikki Bella in this feud? And do you think Becky